Okay, so we have a ZVP again. This is an older one. This is on Expedition Lost. Platinum League. Nice. Very nice. Next GG MSG versus Communication. Alright. So, in the top right-hand corner of the map, we have the red Zerg next to GG's own MSG with the high GL and HF, one word. In the bottom left of Expedition Lost, we have the blue Protoss player, Communication. I used to really like this map. I think that it got hated on by a lot of people, but I really enjoyed it a lot. I think that the rocks here in the main are an interesting feature, and at first it was like super hard to deal with, but all it really took is like an overlord here, or supply depot, or pylon, you know, just to have vision around, and as long as you were on top of your game, then you know what was up. So there's some interesting attack paths in this map too, depending on how you A move, depending on where you want to go. Armies can walk right by each other, scouts can walk right by each other in the middle of the map. MSG rallying both overlords out towards his opponent's base. I like to take my second one and I like to put it over my natural and over my third and then rally it over here. And you know, that's pretty transferable depending on the map. Really standard, just gateway first from Communication, and we've got a... Was that a 16 pool? No, that wasn't a 16 pool. It couldn't have been. Probably a 14 pool. I'm going to say it was a 14 pool. Casting's hard. 14 pool from MSG. Pool first, and he's going to come down and take his span now. He's doing his scout with his drone. Poke around, make sure that there's no probe arenos or cannon arenos or pylon arenos to be dealt with. Communication comes in, sees no gas, and he's going to come down and see the hatchery. He's got his gas now on the go. We're going to see a Cybercore come down probably right now. Yeah, look at me. So just Gateway Cyber for Communication. He's got his probe at his opponent's third to make sure that he knows when he takes that, or maybe he'll put a pylon up here or right here behind the bushes. That looks like what he's going to do. So we might see some early aggression out of Communication, depending on whether or not he proxies a pylon. Zerg, still no gases, just making a queen, pumping out drones. Everything's super standard. He's got his scouting lings. Send those across the map, see what's up. He knows that his opponent doesn't have to expand, and he just wants to see what's on the go. Maybe there's an expand coming down right now. It looks like that's the case. We're going to have a Nexus coming up for the Protoss. Ooh, are these lings going to catch this probe? Oh, yes, good. Love it. Now, and the probe's not going to be able to run away at all. So that's a great pickoff. That's such a big deal, getting that probe that's out on the map to make sure that there's no proxy pylons on the way or anything like that. I'd like it if he took one of the lings and just kind of like send him around, send him down around here and down around the fourth, just to make sure that none of those pylons ever got up. Communication, just making his Nexus, getting his warp gate research. He's got that pylon I was talking about a little bit farther away than maybe I'd like, but this way it can't be picked off from the low ground with some high ground vision. Zerg player has got his lings back home. I don't believe he sent his lings across. He's taking a very early third. He saw the Nexus, he felt safe in that. I don't hate this plan at all. More gateways coming in. So it's the third. Wow, I wasn't on the production tab. I'm really sorry. Oops. Yeah, so the third for the Zerg, just making some drones. The Nexus for the Protoss, just making some probes. Gateways coming in. He's going to have a wall here of sorts. Maybe put a cannon here later, or something like that. This is definitely not full wall off right now. He's got his sentry coming in. Make sure that he's well defended. 2 gases in the main. Yeah, we've got a lair on the way for MSG, so this might be indicative of some 3-base roach play. I don't know how I feel. I'm not sure. I'm not knowledgeable enough to say for sure how I love Roach, or not, excuse me, not Roach, but Lair with a fast third, I feel like you're opening yourself up to a lot of play. From Protoss, like Stargate, it's probably going to be an Oracle, because it's usually an Oracle, especially during this time period. I remember Oracles being very popular. Oh no, he's rallied it out here, so it might be a Phoenix. To get that Overlord. Phoenix would be very interesting as well. I feel as though, depending on what the Zerg does, Phoenix is a little bit bad, because it's a little hard to poke in sometimes with your Phoenix if there's enough, if there's Hydras here or anything like that. But that's kind of, again, granted anyways. We have the Hydra Den, the Roach Warren, and an Evolution Chamber coming in. So we're going super greedy at first. We're not making any workers to defend ourselves, which is very unfortunate, because look at this. While I've been nattering on, there was a proxy pylon that went up, and we're going to have a Mothership Core and a Zealot Poke. This is going to be super strong. He's going to get this Queen no problem. I think that's a little bit of a waste of a Time Warp, but hey, what can you do? He's going to try and focus down this hatch. Be a fan of tagging one Zealot onto these workers, but that's okay. If he gets the hatchery, that'll be such a big win. And he is going to get the hatchery, because there's nothing here for the Zerg player. He has 3 Roaches on the way, and he's got 2 Lynx somewhere, if I remember correctly, and that's it. And we've got these Phoenix coming. He is supply blocked right now, but they are coming. They exist, and they're coming. So we get the third. What is Communication going to do now? What is MSG going to do in response? He's making Groot Spines and +1 instead of more army. He has a Spore Crawler on the way. Did he see the Phoenix? He must have. Oh, I think it would have been so strong to try and poke up in here with these Zealots. Just keep warping in Zealots. I think that if you're given just this base for free, I think you just go hard. Why not, right? Something that I really like to keep in mind is that when I have a base that dies, I always try and remember that I have larva here, and I remake the hatchery and everything, but I try and use this larva before anything else, because if the creep goes away, then that'll be really bad. I just lose all of that larva. These Phoenix are going to pick off these Overlords out on the map. Hope he remembers this one. So much less map vision for MSG right now. He's got these creep tumors coming up, and he's going to get this pylon. So MSG's a little bit behind in supply right now. He should be up on workers, 43, 41. But he still only has 5 Roaches with nothing on the way. He's focusing really hard on all of these upgrades, and I don't think that's the right choice anymore, especially when you see these Phoenix. Just lift up the Queen. Get the Queen! Oh, okay. Yeah, Phoenix out on the map. Protoss has total map control, total dominance right now. These forces over here are just enormously out of position. I would have loved for him to just walk some Zealots up into here. Would have been very strong. Oh, you can lift those. A little bit gun shy. There are only 4 Phoenix, so if the Hydralisks were popping out, let's say, that would have been a little bit dicey, to say the least. We're crowding the Overlords around the Spore. MSG doing a good job with that. He needs to throw down a Spore here, and for this base, I'd even like, Spore. Just cover everything where it's the third. Oh my, wow, those all spawn drones? Wow. There's a really big drone wave headed straight for this third base, and he still has almost no army. 5 Roaches, 2 Lings. I mean, the Zealots and the Phoenix could probably just fight that right now. Great job getting that Queen. No more injects for this base right now. Macro Hatch coming down. In a little bit of an interesting position. We're getting a lair. No, wait. No, that's a hive. He's getting his hive, so he's got his infestation pit. Wow. So, some interesting play coming out of MSG. We might see some faster Ultralisks, or he might just want it for Viper. We're knocking down a little bit ironic knockdown of these rocks for Communication, because he does have it walled off with gateways, so that's not going to do a whole lot to help him out. But we do have the third coming in, and everything's just going on kind of nicely. +1 attack is coming down. Got some Archons coming up, which will be very strong, very strong. They're going to be able to get this Overlord with the Phoenix. I honestly, I think this is just MSG's game. We've got 15 Roaches and +2 attack coming in for MSG. Excuse me, this is Communications game. But I don't think it's going to be enough. There are 3 Archons, 17 Zealots, and 5 Phoenix in this army, with even more on the way. He's just making Archons. This is going to be so strong. This is such a powerful push. It's Charge Lot Archon. Oh my, I didn't even see him get the charge upgrade. This is going to be absolutely devastating for MSG. I don't think he's going to be able to save this base. I think he should just pull out with everything that he possibly can. Just save them up at this natural and see if he can get an agreeable engagement a little bit later. This just isn't happening. The charge slot Archon composition is just murdering its way through, and he's not cutting his roaches. There he goes. There's just nothing the Zerg can do about this right now. If he had, yeah, I think that the only thing that could have possibly made this a winnable fight for the Zerg is if he held his reinforcements back. And they're just coming in a little bit piecemeal now. He's doing a reasonable job fighting this. I mean, a lot of Protoss did die. A lot of those Zealots went down. But Archons are so tanky. They're so beefy. Such good units. And these Phoenix can be used to pick off. Just remove units from the fight. It's so strong. Still has 5 Phoenix. So we have a 2 base Zerg. Yep, 2 base Zerg versus a 3 base Protoss. Hive exists, but there's nothing to really be done with it. Just making Panic Roaches and Hydralisks right now. All Communication needs to do is just chill at home. Just make sure he doesn't die. He has +2 attack coming in. He's got Immortals coming in. He's got his Robotics Bay coming in, so he's going to have Colossi in a matter of time. Does he have Storm? Does he have the Storm upgrade? He doesn't have Storm, but the option is there with the Templar Archives. He's going to have an amazing amount of AoE potential. He's got his Void Ray to deal with some of these Roaches, so he's not even letting that Stargate that he made so far back. He's not even letting this go to waste. Excuse me. Making more Robo facilities to pump out 2 Colossi at a time. This is just going beautifully for Communication. Oh, that's weird. I can't select this Roach. Look at that. Oh, that's so weird. Huh. Interesting. He's gonna knock down this gateway. I don't know. I guess if there was some really weird play by the Zerg to get into the main base, then that would be kind of nice to have that path open, but I don't know what possibly could be. He doesn't have cannons, so maybe some burrow play. Yeah, we're using the Hive, we're getting +3 attack upgrades. He doesn't have any carapace upgrades though, and Hydralisks are already really glass cannon. So, I mean, it's cool that a Hydralisk shot is going to punch like a rail car, but if they just melt to this army, then it's not going to do that much. Man, MSG's actually really turned this around. This is a really sizable army. I called this way too soon. Way too soon. He's going to pick off the Forge. This army is now chokeholded rather poorly, and it's going to come in pretty piecemeal. These Zealots aren't doing anything. They can't get into the fight. This Colossus is going to go down right away. He saves the Colossus. No, okay. The Colossus goes down right away. This is an amazing engagement for MSG. I don't know how he pulled this around. Just the sheer power of his hatchery numbers, I suppose. Such a good fight. This Colossi is doing a lot of work. I think this army will be cleaned up. Yeah, this army should be cleaned up by Communication, but MSG did such incredible work just now. The supplies show that Communication is winning, but that's because MSG's micro is a little hard out. So we have a 2 base Protoss to a 3 base Zerg. A little bit less than 3 base. Ooh, a little bit less than 2 base. Both players need to look at expanding. Communication needs his Nexus back, and he should think about taking another Nexus as well, because of both players' mains are just mining out. The creep spread from MSG is phenomenal right now. Talk about map vision. These Phoenixes, all the Phoenix are kind of just chilling, not doing a whole lot. From this position, I think it'd be very strong to start warping in some Stalkers. Zealots are really good units. Charge Lot Archon created some pretty favorable engagements back here at the Zerg's 3rd when that push happened. But Zealots now are going to just melt. They're going to die to a wave of tanking Roaches and crushing Hydralisks. Vipers are coming in very strong. This would be an argument, I guess, to keep warping in Zealots, I suppose. Maybe not, I don't know. I'm not sure how Protoss deals with Vipers. The Phoenix still exists, which will be really good versus these Vipers, as long as he keeps them with his army. It might be a case of some Vipers getting picked off before they can Blinding Cloud, or pull any Colossi, which would be very, very, very favorable for our Protoss hero. But for our Zerg hero, I think he's just doing everything that he needs to do. Look at the supply, 168 to 120, and the only reason it's 168 right now is because he's supply capped. Protoss is going to come in here and pick off this base. Cancel, the clutch cancel. Oh, I was looking for the two-shot kill on that base with the way that the Protoss was moving. He sees the army, he knows he has to get home, and he does. These Phoenix need to be really careful. Like I said, they'd be a handy thing to have with the army of the Protoss just versus the Vipers. But they're going to get here and they're going to do work. I think there reaches a point in the game where you worry less about drones, especially with their mined out main. Okay, no, never mind. He's brought all of his workers down. So picking up drones is definitely relevant still. The Protoss is taking his fourth. Third base is not fully saturated. Still lots of workers in the main, so if he moves these workers down to his natural and starts mining the gas and the minerals here, then that'll be perfect. Oh, and also in the natural, not replace those workers that have died, which means that if things keep going the way that they're going, what, 50 to 56? I was gonna say, oh well, if the Protoss has less workers, that means more supply for army, but that's apparently not the case. Upgrades are 3-1 to just +2 for the Protoss, and MSG, I doubted. I really doubted. I should not have doubted. This is some quality play out of our Zerg. He really held on, and I didn't think that that was going to be a thing that happened. +2 carapace coming in terms of upgrades, the Zerg player is just stomping. The Phoenixes are going to see this base coming up again. We have a maxed out Zerg now, and only not even 150 supply for our Protoss. So, oh, this is a dangerous move out for sure. But I don't hate the move out either, because there has to reach a point where you just have to clear up some of this creep, and that's definitely now. It's right on the doorstep. Lots of zealots coming in. I don't love that, but really there's not enough gas to do anything else. Storm upgrade is coming in. Storm's so strong against Hydralisks. Oh, he's going to lose all of these Phoenix. Oh, that's unfortunate. Protoss Death Ball is... Oh, it's going to be coated by Blinding Clouds. Look at how many Vipers there are. There are 6 Vipers. Oh, look at the pulls. He chooses to go for the pulls instead of the Blinding Clouds. Colossi just melt. But that for a second there, that was not the best engagement that MSG could have taken. But it doesn't matter. Over 100 supply in supply difference. Not anymore. Never mind. There's not 100 over 100 supply. Just an absolute turnaround for MSG. I thought that this was a done deal for Communication. I love these kind of games. It's so exciting. Communication is all but dead. He's going to warp in some reinforcements. The Nexus goes down. The Nexus cannon has died. Even if this gets cleaned up, Zerg is in such a strong place with the number of bases, the number of upgrades, the number of workers. Everything is going in favor of the Zerg. He doesn't want to let these come in piecemeal, though. Just give them away. Like that. Just rally moved. A lot of Hydralisks. Oh, wow. MSG needs to realize this is happening. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, that was really bad for MSG. If there's anything in this game that's going to happen that's going to keep Communication in it, that was it. 100%. That was so many Hydralisks just move commanded into this area here and just torn to shreds by the Zealots and the Archons and the Stalkers. Oh my God. I think that this is still a really good place for the Zerg. I think that it depends on good. He's pulling his workers. Not a lot of economy. I don't know how this is going to play out. This is not an irrelevant army. And Storm did finish 2 High Templar here for Storms. 2 Colossi. More workers, more Zealots coming in. I don't know how this will play out. I don't know. This is such an exciting game. So Protoss picks off that original 4th base and runs home. He doesn't know that this is currently up and working. Doesn't realize this is a thing. He would be. It would be really handy if he could scout that. He's got his observer here. He must know. And Zerg's taking the gold. I think that the smart choice is just to save for. Yeah, he's got 43 larvae. I don't like this gold. I think the correct choice would be to just pour everything into units. He's got his Vipers again. Oh man, the Protoss has moved into position to receive this though, and there are a lot of High Templar. There's 6 High Templar more on the way. Just feedbacks and storms would be amazing. Amazing feedbacks with very mediocre pulls. This is an awesome, awesome fight for the Protoss now. Communication's going to stomp MSG. Oh, wow. So good, so strong. That was just awesome. That was such a great game. Wow. Oh, that was so back and forth. I love that. See, that's the thing. That's exactly why I'm gonna do this today. That game was fucking awesome. Man, Communication pulling out the win versus MSG. Man, that was great. That was just an awesome game. Man, I'm excited about that. That was fucking great. Man, that's why you play StarCraft. That was great. Ah, that must have. When was this? PvZ Plat fun game back and forth. That was 8 months ago. 8 months ago, this game got posted on our cast, and it just wasn't cast. I'm so happy that man, that was a great game. That got me all excited and everything. I tell you, awesome.